Hi, I'm Musa Ekaba. I'm a student at Apina Community College, and I'm studying electrical systems technology. All right, so we're going to talk about SEL relays and how we set them up and how we use them to actually control our mini uh, grid that we have here, our substation. So these are the SEL relays, and we use them to control our power lines from our substation, and um, we have the SEL software to actually control them after we wire them up. So I'm a electrical system technology student, so I do the wiring, I do the configuration on a computer after the utility student, the linemen already did the installation. Then, but also in a design process, we have to design and also give them specifications of what we want and what we expect from it in terms of PTs and CTs. So those will be like current transformers and potential transformers. And what are the ratios? So we can set up the ratio, and then we can monitor the current and the voltage and how whether they are in phase or out of phase, and whether they are lagging or leading. So we can monitor everything from here. And also with the SEL relays, you can connect them through serial communication, or you can connect them through Ethernet. So you can control them through the Wi-Fi. And so we have both of those set up on our SEL relays. And also you can also open and close and trip, and you can actually put a fault on the line and see how much the fault current is going to be. And you can also go into the software and see the waveform and the timing, the timestamp of what happened, what's the event file. So these are just the hardware and the communication setup. So, and then now this setup actually helps the software to be able to directly control the whatever is going on the line. So you can close, you can trip, you can open the breaker, you can close the breaker, and you can also trip a line as well through these relays. Now, the first step in that is the serial communication, and we have this. All right, so the SEL software the SEL system in general is very good because you can control things remotely through, generally we use SCADA as a term for them because, you can remotely control things. And so we use V-Links to do the serial communication. So you can go in your substation and see like what meters you have, the meter information, the ID number, and some other information you can gather from the meter, and then bring it up here in your V-Links so you can establish a communication system from the computer to the line or the meter. So the meter and the computer is talking, so you can monitor everything that is going on. So for the V-Links, now you can actually put an IP address, and you can set up the IP address, and you can do a lot of settings here in a V-Links. So here we have the IP address, and then we have the subnets max, and then we have the default gateway, and then we can also see the port settings. And in the port setting, we can define whether it's going to be a TCP, or it's going to be a UDP, or VCOM mode, or it's going to be a pair mode. So these are all things that you can do here to define the communication system, whether it's going to be a serial communication or Ethernet communication. And then you can then import the information for your port, the TCP port number, and you can limit how many communication is going to go through this system, whether you just want one communication or you want more. You can do those one. You can have as much as 4 communications or connections going through. And then you can also see here, you can describe whether it's going to be a serial port or not, and you can describe the mode. So this one is going to be RS232, so that's a serial communication. And then our baud rate is 9,600, and also we are using 8 bits for our data bits, and then so for our stop bit is just 1 bit. And also our parity, we are using odd parity, so you can use odd, even, mark, space as your parity, or you can use no parity. So right now we are using odd parity, and also you can control the power flow of how it's going and everything. So So this one is just a serial Ethernet connection server, and you can set it up here and then go and check on your substation physically to see whether you are able to control it. Now, the next step here is going to be to see the SEL software and see how actually we can physically control these transmission system and our substations directly from the computer. So now let's go to the next step. Okay, so this is where we use the HMI to connect, to control our substation or our line from using SEL software. And so in your SEL software, there's a tool called QuickSet. So we use QuickSet to monitor the line, to close the line, to trip the line, and to open the line, and and also you can see a lot of relay voltage and relay current, and whether they are in phase or out of phase from different input or output. So now you can also come to phasors, like you can see how they are phasing. So phase component of the current, and then you can see the phase and the sequence component, because we have the phase current and then we have the sequence current. So you can see how the phase current and the sequence current of sequence component and the phase component are different, and what angle or to what degree they are different. And you can also see the frequency, whether it's off or is actually right on. And then you can come to the control window. This is the control window. This is where you can actually close the breaker, and you can trip the breaker. You can do a lot of things with it here. So right now the breaker is open. So I'm gonna go ahead and close this breaker and see whether we're gonna get some current. But before we close the breaker, let's look here in our phase current. So right now we have zero current, which is true. We have zero voltage, which is true, because we don't have, the breaker is not closed, so we are not seeing anything right now. But once I go ahead in the window, in the monitor window, and close this breaker, in the control window and close this breaker, then we can see some information there about the current and the voltage. So I'm gonna go ahead and close this thing. And it's gonna take a little bit to close, because of course it's a signal that needs to be sent, and then it's gonna close. But once it's closed, we're gonna see here, this close is gonna be red. Okay, so now our breaker is closed. So now the breaker is closed, we're gonna go back to our phasor, and then we can see whether we have some current or voltage there as well. Okay, so right now we don't have any load and we don't have anything running on our substation, so we still don't have any current going through, and we still don't have any voltage going through either, because we have no loads on there. So there's nothing there to see right now. But our voltage is 60, our frequency is 60 Hertz. And on our source voltage, we have a little bit of voltage there, about 5 volt, which is right, because we don't have any load and we don't have anything running there right now. So yeah, this is where you can, use and you can also trip this breaker right now to see how it's gonna work out. But yeah, this is where you use the SEL software to monitor and also control your SCADA system. So yeah, I just wanted to give a little bit detail on how we use QuickSet and SEL relays to monitor and analyze performance of substation and the power and the transmission line.